We're going to talk about the chiller. I'm not going to really go over all the EPA stuff. I'm actually just talk about the chiller and how it works and what it does. Okay? But before I do that, I want to talk about a regular air conditioner. This is central air that you have in your house. There's two parts, one outside and the other one. Yesterday, we went to the AC class, and we called that a field piped split system. The system is split into two pieces, but the pipes that connect are installed at the home, because these are rated in tons, like how big the air conditioner is, like 1 ton, 2 ton, 3 ton air conditioners. But you could put a 2-ton air conditioner in one house that's single story like this one. There's a piece inside and a piece right outside, right next to each other. But what if you had a 2-story house and you put this piece on the second floor, the same size unit, but you have to run the lines? So that's why they call it field pipe split system. But an air conditioning system is this coil, like a refrigerator, gets cold and the hot air comes in and cools down and comes back out. But this here is called an evaporator. Evaporator absorbs heat, and how it does it is the freon comes in as líquido, and then the hot air causes it to boil and turn to vapor. That's why the name evaporator, vapor. So liquid freon come in, vapor come out. The vapor has heat. It absorbs the heat from the air, and then over here, it lets the heat out. So it turns it back to liquid. So vapor come in, liquid come out. So this relies on air coming in and going out to cool it, and the freon, the gas, is in the system. A chiller doesn't work like that. Okay? A chiller has freon, but the freon never leaves the room. So let's take a look at this. Here's a chiller. We looked at a very small one in the AC class yesterday, but this here is the actual chiller. This piece right here. The freon never leave this room. Okay? This is outside. It's in a room, but it's not air conditioned. It's in a room. But this is the compressor that pumped the gas. This is the suction line. So here's your evaporator. Like this one here, we have an evaporator here. I just can put an E, and we have the condenser here. Well, on a chiller, that's the evaporator. That's a condenser. Okay? The freon never leaves here, never goes out. So in this AC, this freon's going back and forth and back and forth. In this one here, the freon never goes inside the building, inside the house. So how do they cool? Well, they cool the house by passing water. This blue line is water. This pipe, nothing but water. You know, you go and you drink water and the water is cold. Has a refrigeration system that makes the water cold. This is much bigger. Okay? So these two tanks have pipes inside that are freon. Come in here, go here, and then come back out. Over the pipes is water. So chiller is to make the water cold, and then we pump the water into another evaporator here. The water flow to here, and then the air, change the color, the air, the hot air goes over the evaporator, and the water come back here to get the water cold. But when we bring the heat here, the freon take the heat to the condenser, and then we have a separate water system. That's why it's two colors. We have a water pump here and a water pump here. One for the chilled water and the other one for the condenser water. So this absorbs the heat in the water. It comes over here. The Freon take the heat, pass the heat to the condenser, and then we pump it up to something called a water tower. Okay? Now the water tower is nothing but water, and then air comes in here, and right there is a big fan pulling the air out, and then the water falls down, and here you're going to see a bunch of little holes, and the water comes down like a waterfall. And so the air comes in, takes the heat, and blows it out here, and then that water comes back to the condenser to do it all over again. So we have two water system, one Freon system. What's the advantage? Why do that? Why can't they just do this? Because this works. Why go to a chiller? What's the advantage of a chiller? Anybody got any ideas? Big space, yes and no. Not necessarily a big space. That I don't want that getting on the video. You guys can talk after, okay? So if you have questions later, I sit with you. So let's say a building, okay? Apartment building. Many floors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors. Each floor, 3 apartments. Well, normally you'll have one AC outside. 1, 2, 3, and you have another piece inside connected. But that means I have to have another one here connected to one here, and another one here connected to one here. And then as I go up, where am I going to put all these condensers? Now, what if I have a building downtown with 20, 30 floors, and each floor has more than one company? Well, one company like it cold, the other company don't like it so cold. How do we control it? So we can't have all these individual air conditioners on big buildings. So what do? So on each floor, we have an evaporator, and it has water. But that water flows to here, to here, to here, and then back. And each one has a fan. Circulate the air. And a thermostat controls the fan for that evaporator. So for each room, you have a thermostat, a thermostat, a thermostat, and control the temperature of that room. So we have this water circulation going through. Now, one thing about it, if you look here, you notice that this is blue and this is white. And notice it's more bigger. It's not that the pipe is bigger, that's insulation for temperature. So that the water here is about 40 degrees. But you pass this all the way to the other building and you lose cooling. Okay? Real quick, take the phone. You guys come here, I want to show you something. Everybody go out that door. Keys, so if the door closed, no problem. So take a look. That's the cooling tower. That's nothing but water going up there. The room in the bottom where the fence is where the actual chiller is. So that whole building, which runs all the way down, they run water through the building to cool all the rooms. But not only that, the high school has 2 buildings. There's another 2-story building over there. They don't have another AC system over there. They pump the chilled water underground, insulated to the other building, and bring the water back and cool the room. What's the advantage?
Saving energy?
Well, you have one machine instead of 30 machines. But imagine if the AC system was in that room and you pump Freon to all the rooms, what happened if you have a Freon leak? How would you find it? But if I have water pipes and they leak, it's obvious you see water leaking. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the other building. We're first going to start off with the equipment room, not this one. We're going to go to the older one in the other building. That unit in that room is that big, like, submarine looking things. You're going to see two separate systems. One does half of the building. The other does the other half of the building. We're going to go through the whole building and look at the machine first where all the Freon is. In that same room, we're going to see 4 water pumps. Why 4? Porque hay 4 pompas de agua en el edificio.
Porque van 2 para el agua fría de acá adentro y 2 para el agua de afuera.
No, pero es 2. Porque hay 4.
Porque una para el agua fría, de 2 para el agua fría de acá y 2 para la de adentro.
Sí, tú tienes 2 máquinas. You have 2 machines. And each machine has 1 pump for cold water and 1 pump for hot water. So we're going to look at the machine, and then I'm going to show you all the evaporators for the one machine, and then I'm going to take you and show you the other ones for the other machine, and they cool different parts of the building with that. So we're going to look at the machine. We're going to look at the water pumps when we go in that room, and the reason why I'm telling you now is because, can you hear that machine there? Yeah. Okay. That makes a loud whining noise. There's no fans. It's just a compressor and water pumps. But it's pumping a large volume of Freon. Okay? So that whines, it makes noise, the compressor. So when we get to that room, you're not going to hear me too good. So we got to stay close. One thing, you're going to see the 2 tanks, but one tank is going to be covered with insulation. The other one, no. Which one is the one covered with insulation? The cold one. The evaporator. Okay? So the evaporator is going to have insulation because the water's cold. We don't want it to get hot. We want the heat from inside, but not where the machine is. Okay? So be careful. I don't want you guys touching anything there, but we're going to go over to the other building now. So let's go over and take a look. That water tower. And when I take you guys up there, you got to be very careful. I'm going to let you climb up the ladder and look at the machine up top, okay? Yeah. So you all have to make sure you hold on and be careful. I don't want nobody getting hurt. Hopefully the microphone works better. Come on, guys, come on. Let's go, come over here. We're looking this way. You stay. These are the 2 units. Which one is the evaporator? Which one is the evaporator? Touch it. Touch it. Now look over here. Chilled water supply. So that's cold water going in. This is the water return. Water flow in and out. Condenser water for the bottom. The Freon is only inside this machine. 2 compressors. Another machine over there. Okay? Now come over here. 4 water pumps. 2 chilled water. 2 condenser water. Where does this go? Where does the water go from here? This goes to the roof. The thing I just showed you. The roof, the techo. This goes to the evaporators. I want you guys to count How many evaporators? ¿Cuánto evaporator tú veo? Right now, see if you can find the first one. Where's the first one? The water come in here and go out. This is the evaporator. The cold water go here, in, and out. We're gonna go to the other room where it's not as loud. Come on. Remember, count how many evaporators. So that evaporator up there, only cold water. And the fans circulate the air from the room over the cold water. So that's one, right? No. Come on. Okay, so it's not as loud here as the other room, so it's easier for me to talk. So we have an evaporator here. I'm going to let you take a look at the evaporator. CHWS. What is CHWS? What's this one say? CHWR? Does it have words on it? No. But this would say CHWS. This would say CHWR. What is this?
Chilled water supply and chilled water return.
Chilled water supply and chilled water return. Notice it's insulation. Okay? So they have a temperature here. And look at the temperature that this water is running at. Yeah, it's almost freezing, right? So there's a problem here with chillers. They run very close to freezing water temperature. And if the fan motor stops, you can freeze the water and break the evaporator. So the water pumps always have to be circulating. We need the fans to be on. Now, if the AC system shut off, the units out there shut off, but they almost never shut off. They're almost always running. Okay, I need some help here. Just loosen. Look, loosen and then turn. Now, the reason I say I need help, because it's going to take two hands to pull this because of the fan. The fan suction is so strong. We're going to see the evaporator in here, but unlike our refrigerators or ACs, the evaporator doesn't have Freon. The evaporator is just cold water. The machine we saw makes the water cold, and the cold water comes here. So if we have a leak, we're going to have water. That's it. So come here. Wanta do. Wanta do. Uten. Wanta do. Come on, pull. All right. Come on, you guys take turns looking. This is the evaporator here with the water. And look at the size of that fan circulating the air. So you can see the evaporator here. That evaporator is showing this chilled water coming from this white pipe going in there. And this fan circulating the air over the evaporator. Okay? Everybody got a chance to look?
So chilled water supply goes out there.
It's only water going through there, no Freon. Okay? So let's put that back together again. You can pause it. Yeah, come on. All right, guys, so if you look at this here, this is a damper, like a refrigerator damper, okay? This is hooked up to those equipment up there. That's the fire suppression equipment. If there's a fire and there's smoke in the building, the fire system will block the air circulation because this one unit will cool 5 different classrooms. Now, each classroom has their own damper. So if one room is cold, you can adjust the temperature of that room. It doesn't affect this. It just affects the air going in that room. So this one machine may do 4 rooms, but each room has a window to control the air from here, that we can turn off the air to 2 rooms if we wanted to. Okay? So if there's a fire and the fire system of the building detects a fire, one room may have a fire. We don't want this one to take all the smoke and blow it into all the rooms. So this would shut off the airflow so that we don't fill up rooms that don't have a fire with smoke. Okay? Now we have to have control of the temperature of the water too. If the water gets too cold, the water freezes, the pipes will break. So all we're doing is making the water cold over there, and we're pumping it over here so we can absorb the heat to that machine. But then the condenser pump to the roof, and the heat goes out the roof, and we'll take a look at that. So far we've seen 2 evaporators, right? Now we're just going to go in the other rooms and look at the others, but we're not going to open them up like we did this one because they're all the same. Come on, let's go to the next one. Last one out. You can turn it on. Now, does this room look familiar to the other? So how many evaporators was that? 3. These 3 are connected to one machine out there. Just these 3. They do several rooms in the building, but we have more rooms that are controlled by the other machine. Okay? So all this does is circulate air and water in here. Okay? So let's go take a look at one more thing before we go up to the roof. All right. So I'm gonna show you something in a minute, but one thing I want to point out to you. This was our building automation class. Okay? The building automation class, this used to be electronics technology. They moved it to the other building. This one here was to teach energy management. Like you have a big building downtown, you have lights, you have air conditioning, you have lights inside, lights outside the building. Who controls those? Because it's not each office controls the outside lights. So there's an energy management system. So this class, we don't have an instructor for it right now, but this class was to teach energy management. Why am I bringing that up? Because that also controls that air conditioning system. How long does it run? What temperature are we running at? So if you run up here and you see all these systems, this airflow, and here where they have all types of relays and electronics where they teach how to control them, and then you can see the controllers up there. Look at this. What is this? This is the same as the room we just came out of, the evaporator. You see the water pipes insulated? When they made this class only about just before COVID, maybe like 2019, 2020. And so they added this machine to that air conditioning system. They connected these pipes to that system so that the students here could learn how to control the air conditioning system using that. Now, this is a race up here where they run all the wires so that they don't hang down. That's what that is up there. So this was a great class, but you have to learn a lot. You have to learn programming. You have to learn controls and everything. It's all electronics. It's a tough class, very tough. But this is the same system, but this class taught you how to control it and manage the energy. Okay? So let's go. This one, even though it's an evaporator, we won't count it. All right, we're going to go to the next room. Classes and rooms in the middle of the building here. And inside that doorway is TV production. They actually have TV studios and equipment in there that's 2 stories high. The rest of this building is single story, but the TV production is taller. Okay? So the equipment that I'm going to show you is going to control the center rooms in here, but they also control the TV production lab. So let's go in there and look at it. How many evaporators? Look closely. Go take a look. 3, we got 1. Just look at the insulated water pipes. 1 on the end, 1 here, and 1 here. Okay? This is the second unit. Now look here. All of these here are letting the air into the room. If the room's too cold, the door close. Look over here. These are all the thermostats that are controlling the dampers. They have a problem right now where one room is too hot. And they're trying to figure out, is it the controller, is it the damper? It's not the AC system because the rest of the school is cold. So it's not the Freon, not the compressor. Either it's the water's not circulating or the damper is not opening. Okay? I'm not involved in testing with the AC guys are working on that, but that's what they're working on right now. All right? So these thermostats don't control the unit. That is nothing more than a fan with pipes in it. Okay? And that fan pushes the air out. What would you call this duct here?
Return.
A return duct. This is where the air is coming in, and these are called supply ducts. They are going to all the rooms. Okay, we're going to go out here on the roof. What?
Why is the insulation removed on that corner where that pipe is?
Because I think they had a leak or something, and so they had to get to the pipe to repair it. That I think had a thermometer on it for the temperature, like the other one I showed you, and you notice they don't have it connected right now. So they had a problem with it. If you look at the other ones there, watch your step, guys. It won't close. I got it caught. Come on. All right, what's here is that the water's in the bottom, and you see those pipes? One pipe pumps the water up to the top, and the water comes down this honeycomb thing for the air to cool the water, and that fan is circulating the air. We're gonna go up and look at it, but I want you guys to see here inside first what you're gonna look at, okay? And you can see the water down in the bottom there, and the honeycomb with the fan at the top. We're going to get a better look at that, okay? Hold on a second. Part monkey, man. Okay, so if you look, we got 2 pipes. This one is the water going up top, and the water floats down, and this is the water that's returning. Now, first of all, we had 2 water systems. We had the condenser water and the evaporator water, the hot and the cold. The evaporator water is closed system. That means the water can't evaporate. The water can't go away. This is open air. So that hot water is going to evaporate. So right here, and you'll see it when you get on top. When we go up there, you guys are going to see it. But right here is a float like a toilet bowl. And if the water level gets too low, more water come in. Okay? But notice,
Se vacía agua,
okay,
y esta es la salida.
yes, yes, that goes in and this come out. You're gonna go up and see it. We're gonna go up. So if you notice, we have two separate water towers, one for each unit, two separate water systems. Now, this pipe here is a drain. Like if you have to do any service, I can open up this valve and let the water out the drain. Okay? So listen, if you're afraid of heights, don't go up there. Okay? Second, both hands, one step at a time. Don't go too fast. I don't want anybody to fall from here. It's not that high, but let's be safe, okay? Now, only 2 people at a time come up behind me. Slowly, slowly. Take your time, bro. All right. So first of all, look down there. They got a chlorinator, and then look at the float there for the water. Water's coming in right now through that pipe. And then we got another one over there. You see the water coming in? That's it. Espérate. Yo diga dos gente primero. Oh, yeah, you don't get mucha gente arriba. Oh. Stand over there so it's not here, okay? So look here. Touch it. I only wanted 2 people up here at a time, Kenny. Yo quiero dos gente. Oh, that's okay. Touch the water. Touch the water. So that's the water coming from here. And then, no, I only want 2 people at a time. Go down. And then when these people are done, you come up. So you see this honeycomb. This is just for air. That water is going down and the air is taking the heat out so that we can go back down and cool more. Okay, any questions about this? ¿Tiene preguntas?
So instead of letting the hot air in, esto está dividido. Cold air.
Sí, es,
No, este es uno y este es otro. Pero
Yeah.
aquí,
es una parte.
una parte acá y una parte allá, o todo es lo mismo.
Y todo lo mismo aquí.
Entra el agua por aquí y va
Entra el agua aquí, salió para los huecos aquí. En los huecos aquí ese aire se enfría y salió ahí. Ok, ok, down.
Vamos para abajo, no aguanta, para que explique los demás.
2 manos, cuídate.
2 más.
You can pause the video and